Hey, small group leaders. Today we're in lesson number 2 of our small group training series at PursueGOD.org. And today we're going to talk about the 5 small group leader essentials. John, what exactly are those?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to think about the leader essentials as a leader is think of them as the core values in order to develop and grow healthy relationships within your small group.
All right, so small group training, lesson number 2. Small group leader essentials, and like I said, there are going to be 5 of them. John, help us unpack this first one. Invite personally.
Yeah, so inviting personally, I think this one is quite self-explanatory. Essentially, we want to create a culture of invitation within our small group. You may be part of a church that runs events to help people find a place to land, a small group that would be a good fit for them. And those events are great, but the best way to grow your group is to reach out, maybe even step out in a vulnerable way, tap that person on the shoulder that you've never met before in church, get to know them, take them out to breakfast, and really personally invite them to the group. People are not only going to feel more connected to your group in that way through a personal invitation, but as those relationships grow within your group, they're going to feel more connected to the church also.
So that's the first essential, is to be personal in your invitation. Don't just expect the announcement at church to get people to go to your small group. And the second one is to involve everyone. Can you tell we're going to be using I's here for all of these leader essentials?
Look, the more people get involved in your group, the more buy-in they're going to have to your group. So this could mean things like letting someone else host, for example, making sure that there's snacks available at the group, and it's not just you and your spouse who are providing the snacks. Spread that responsibility around the group. Look for those that might be willing to lead a discussion and hand that off from week to week. Look for opportunities to serve. Look for opportunities to get together and have some socials together and allow other people in the group to take ownership of those events.
All right, so those first 2 are very practical, being invitational, making sure to involve everyone in the group time. And this third one kind of gets really at the heart of your job as a small group leader, and that is to influence spiritual growth.
So yeah, this is a really important essential because it really gets to the heart of what your group is all about. Your group is not just a bunch of people getting together, becoming closer in their friendships and whatnot. And not that that's not important and it's not good and healthy to do that, to build relationships, but ultimately we want to grow our relationship vertically with God as much as we grow our relationship horizontally with others. So first of all, you need to take a look in the mirror as a small group leader and ask yourself, are you staying connected to the vine? Are you being intentional about your own spiritual disciplines in your life that you could then inspire others to grow in those areas? Your prayer life, your time in the Word, showing up consistently to church every Sunday, those types of things. And then are there accountability? Is there accountability in your group around those types of spiritual disciplines?
All right, so that third one's really important as a Christian, as a disciple who's trying to make disciples, as we talked about in our last lesson. But this fourth one might surprise some of you small group leaders, and here's how we say it: invest outside of group time.
Yeah, this essential is all about helping to grow your group relationally. The idea that when folks show up to your group, it's not just like showing up and punching in and punching out for an hour a week or every other week or whenever you run your group, and you don't see or talk to each other outside of that time. And so as a leader, you really want to model what it means to invest in those outside of group time in your group. Are you noticing if someone didn't show up for your group and reaching out to that person and asking them how they're doing? Or maybe back to that other leader essential of involving everyone, maybe you task that to another group member. Hey, have you talked to so-and-so? Have you found out what they're up to, if they need anything? This, speaking of needs, this is an essential that is important in terms of caring for the needs that arise within your group. Did someone just have a baby? Are they celebrating a graduation? Or are there some hard things that people in your group are going through? How is your group coming together and supporting and loving and caring for each other within the group? So this essential is all about how you and your group members are connecting with one another outside of group time and valuing your relationships.
And then that leaves us with just our fifth leader essential for a Pursue God small group. And here's how we say it: inspire multiplication, because your group is not supposed to be a holy huddle of Christians who just meet together for the next 30 years.
Yeah, so this is a very important essential to begin communicating as a leader to your group right from the get-go. So your group has an understanding that healthy things grow, that this group isn't going to look the same today that it does 3 years from now, as people are invited into the group, as people leave the group, as you raise up leaders eventually to step out in faith to start their own group so that others can find a place to land in healthy community also. This group is going to look different over time.
So those are our 5 small group leader essentials: invite personally, involve everyone, influence spiritual growth, invest outside of group time, and inspire multiplication. And so I guess the last thing, John, is how should people use this list in the weeks to come and even in the months to come?
So like we said from the beginning, these are essentially the core values for you as a group leader. These are areas that you're going to want to grow in your skill level around so that you can grow as a leader and so that your group can grow toward a healthy small group and multiplication.
Yeah, and I would say if you're raising up an apprentice or if you have some other co-leaders of the group, make sure that you're on the same page with these 5 values, these 5 leader essentials for small group leading, because it's not about just you knowing it. You want to eventually multiply and help other people go out and start groups that are just as healthy as the one that you're getting ready to lead.